Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to be looking at 6-star Zachary, who is a new promo character who is available on the promo wheels. Obviously this is what the 5-star looks like. We'll just have a look at his sort of visuals, and when he gets to become a 6-star, it's just he gets a bit of Kevlar. It looks like it gets a little bit of Kevlar. It looks like he's gone through things, blood everywhere. I'm not sure about this character. His name is the Whisperer War, so I guess he is from the comics. Now we look at his stats. He has got 1,508 attack, 1,643 defense, and 2,236 HP. He is an alert character, and he is classified as a support character. And when you look at his stats, he doesn't have high attack, which generally writes off the fact that he'll be a pure damage dealer. Now his rush is called Dismembering Shots. It is 66 AP cost, and it is deal 1,000 main damage and minus 20 AP to up to 5 enemies. All teammates recover from all penalties. This character regains up to 100% of their max HP. So basically he will fully heal himself. That isn't a 100% bonus HP, that's just fully heals himself. Everybody recovers from all penalties. That's everything. Disarm, that's everything. Bleed, stun, impair, every issue they've got, they're fine. That's great. The attacking side of this thing is, like I said before, it's pretty simple. 1,000 main damage and minus 20 AP to everybody. Very nice rush. It obviously doesn't have to scale off of his attack damage, so it's just pure damage. And they seem to be utilizing maim quite a lot, because obviously not many people run maim resist, so it's going to be pretty powerful. He is quite a fast character as well with 66 AP. That means you could potentially use him behind Michelle if you did get Michelle from the recent Whisperers event, and with the right weapons, I'm pretty sure he could go off turn 2 because of that 66 AP. You'd obviously need a few of those 8% weapons. You need a command in there as well, but that means turn 2 you could be reducing everybody's AP by 20. And of course, you could be doing 1,000 main damage to everybody as well. So we'll take a look at the active skill, and it is stun, which obviously means he will stun a character. It has got an initial cooldown of 2 turns, and a cooldown after that of 3 turns. It stuns one enemy for 4 turns, and I think that's the longest stun that is in the game for an active skill. He can potentially chain stun one character constantly. One character can be completely taken out. It has got a cooldown of 3, and the stun obviously lasts for 4 turns, so you can just stun them 3 times in a row, and they'd never take a turn effectively. So in a one-on-one situation, he's not going to have too much of a problem. The only issue he's going to run into, obviously, is stun resist being everywhere. Most people do run stun resist, especially on their defense teams. So it isn't spectacular, but at least you get to choose when you use it. There are some characters that I've seen around now that don't have stun resist. They've been running like impair resist, they've been running taunt resist, you know, confuse resist. So maybe stun will become more powerful in the future as other resists become more needed, especially now we've got maim popping up quite a lot, especially now we've got bleed popping up quite a lot. Now he has also got the specialist skill Hemorrhage, and he is the first character within the 6-star era to have Hemorrhage. It did seem like Lacerator had kind of replaced Hemorrhage within the 6 stars, and they work very differently in that Lacerator doubles any bleed, and Lacerator also doubles Hemorrhage. Whereas Hemorrhage, as long as you land a critical hit, as it says, when this specialist lands a critical hit on an enemy, that enemy suffers extreme bleeding that worsens every turn, plus 150 bleed damage per turn. So if he attacks the first turn, he gets a crit, he will obviously then give the character Hemorrhage, and they'll take 150 bleed damage. The next turn it automatically will go up to 300. The next turn it will automatically go to 450, then 600, then 750. And it will just keep on scaling up and up and up. Unless someone has got bleed recover, this obviously will get removed by that. But if you've got a Lacerator as well, you can double this every turn pretty much. So this guy can do his crit, then you can lacerate it to 300. Then it will go up to 450, then you can lacerate it to 900. Then it will go up to 1050, and then you can lacerate it to 2100. You can really go up the numbers. Obviously that takes 5 turns to do to get that sort of level, but it's free damage. And I think Hemorrhage is actually quite fun. It is also fun in other parts of the game, like Faction Assault. You can Hemorrhage a boss in Faction Assault and just watch it go up and up and up and up. Obviously they can resist that as well. Now this character does have an attached weapon. You can't see it right now in his hands, but we can see it when we go to the weapons tab. And it is Zachary's defensive pistol. I guess it looks like a kind of, I don't know what that looks like. A custom Luger, maybe. Very minimal Luger there. And it has a medium bonus to AP when taking damage, 30% defense. And this is the special one, bonus crit plus 100 crit when HP is more than 50%. So I'm pretty sure that's almost going to be 100% crit chance. They have changed how crit works. They did change it like 6 months, a year ago, in that it does fall off the higher it gets. I don't think you can actually get to 100% crit anymore, because this isn't 100% guaranteed, this bonus crit. It's only when his HP is higher than 50%. But what that means is the first turn, you can potentially attack with him and then command him and then attack with him again, and he'll get 2 hemorrhages off. It depends how powerful you think hemorrhage is. Or obviously, he's just going to be he's going to be a priority target if people don't take him out. He's just going to be constantly hitting those crits. He could be useful on defense teams like this, and he's got such defensive stats along with that 30% defense on the weapon that he's going to be really tanky. So bleed could be a real issue for attack teams going forward. And then it becomes that race against time. Can you out damage that hemorrhage? Some people don't obviously run revives, obviously don't run bleed recover. There are characters that have it, for instance Command Glenn, so maybe Command Glenn will become more useful for certain teams. But I think Zachary is a fun character. I'm not really sure how powerful he's going to be within raids. I always think that bleed is kind of weak compared to these really tanky teams. As much as it's pure damage, the damage is not really high enough, and the way bleed works is not strong enough. I think the best way you can make bleed work is if you can combine it with burn and make a lot of characters bleed and burn at the same time, and just hope that you whittle them down over a couple of turns, and then a rush goes off that takes out 2 or 3 characters. If you've got that AoE rush, like for instance someone like Alpha, you know, someone like Sean from the last season's League store. But I think hemorrhage alone isn't going to be spectacular. You need a team kind of set up already. Do tell me what you think about Zachary though. He is a very different character. We are starting to see some very different characters, particularly around the weapons. The first weapon we got like that was within Leagues from Charlie with the 100% chance. And it's interesting. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the first specialist skill Manic character who is going to be a promo character, because I'm going to guess that that character is going to be pretty insane. But that's the end of my video, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.